Hi, lovely audience. Good to see you back for a wonderful interview today with Oliver Smith. He's the leader and founder of SWW Marketing. Well, you must be thinking, well, there's another digital agency here. No, they do a very special work. And they just outside Cambridge. And Ollie has been uh, around construction industry since his childhood. And he decided that I want to contribute to this industry by doing something that that industry is really lacking. What I want you people to understand here is how Ollie has actually picked up the gap in the market. He's seen a niche for himself, and now the growth is just part and parcel of the game. So without much delay, let me welcome Ollie.
Hello.
Yeah, please explain what you do.
Hello. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. A real honour to be here and to be speaking. So, like you say, co-own a marketing agency, co-found a marketing agency, really that sort of grew out of my background. So, as you mentioned, I've been on building sites since a child. I come from third generation, a family that sort of grew up, had a construction firm for over 3 generations. So, and I think from that, what I really learned was the characters in the industry and the complexities of the industry. And I think that sort of those foundations really helped, and that's I'd like to help construction firms now, and I think I'd like to help do that through their sort of marketing and help them digitalize their sort of services.
Well, interestingly, you've been part of construction industry since your family was involved, and your previous generations as well. But how did you think of digital in the first place?
I mean, in terms of, I mean, construction is one of the least digitalized industries in the world. I think it's been quite sort of slow to catch up, and but now it really is catching up. And I think as a new generation comes through, they're very keen to sort of digitalize their business through having that brand awareness online, automating processes, right through to sort of software implementation. Companies now can use a variety of different platforms to really help manage their own sites, manage teams, manage different facilities. Really, I mean, software now is it's so clever, and it can really help be the backbone of any business.
Yeah. So interestingly, you say you're a digital agency, but I see you are more of marketing department for a construction company, because you're offering anything and everything. So could you just elaborate, other than just the digital marketing part, what is it that you also offer?
Yeah. So I mean, we, as you mentioned, we help with sort of digital services, within marketing. But I think, we're a marketing agency that specializes in the construction industry, and the reason behind starting the business and how it kind of came about was that I started doing it on the side, working for one sort of medium-sized subcontractor, and really realized that, hold on a minute, there must be so many other businesses out there who will need support with their marketing. And basically we act very much as their sort of in-house marketing department. I was speaking to a client on Friday, and she was just saying, it's so refreshing to work with someone who kind of, we think outside the box. And I think this goes back to the sort of, my childhood and understanding the industry, but we understand how busy people who work in construction are. often on sites, they're often traveling, they're in meetings. And I think that's where we come in, and we act as their in-house marketing department. And that's where, so like I said, we do not just digital services, we also help in terms of brochure design, exhibitions, and then right through to sort of customer automations, building online shops, building their websites, creating videos that tell their stories. So we literally do everything that you can possibly think of when it comes to marketing, and we kind of come up with a plan for a company, and then we deliver it, and we always report back.
Wow, fantastic. Such a huge range of services. Yeah, it is truly a marketing department. So that's quite an interesting idea, and what you're doing is great. So tell us more about your backstory. How did you come up with this idea, and how you have been progressing so far?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of it did start from I studied marketing at university, and then kind of left, and then worked with several different construction companies, large and small. So right from FTSE 250 companies to sort of medium-sized subcontractors. And I think one of the things I really realised was, the catch-up needed to kind of help digitalize it in terms of its marketing, and also some of the lack of support that it gets. I think often really, really big construction companies can have a marketing department which would be the size of a lot smaller marketing department in a different industry. I mean, I worked for a FTSE 250 company. There were 5 of us, whereas if you compared that to another sort of industry, you'd be looking at, a huge team. So I think I really saw that there was a real need to help and support companies, large and small, with their marketing. And I think understanding the industry is key as well. Understanding the characters, because it can be an industry that they're not necessarily as receptive to traditional or some modern terms, ways of marketing. But actually, now, everyone's, we live in a digital age where I think it's something like 75% of people base their first impression of your business on your website. So you might be getting a lot of word of mouth marketing, but unless you're backing it all up, nowadays it's just, you're just going to miss out. And I think I'm really passionate about marketing and the construction industry, and I think that was where it really sort of came about.
Wow. Well, I understand you're doing marketing for the construction industry. How do you do marketing for yourself? How did you get your first few customers, and from there on, as on today, to grow? How do you do your own marketing?
Yeah, good question. I mean, we everything that we do for our clients, we do ourselves. We work on social media. We're proud of the website we built, and we're one of the top ranked companies on Google. So when you Google construction marketing agency, we're on page 1, so I think that is a lot of the way nowadays. We get a lot of traffic coming through the website, inquiries coming through there, and I think we've grown very much organically too, in terms of from the first client, then being recommended, and then someone else finding out about us, and so I think it's been a combination of our own marketing, that how we look and how customers perceive how we can help them, and also I think just in terms of people sort of saying, I think we offer a different approach to a lot of agencies where they might require lots of briefs, lots of hand-holding, but actually what we'll do is we'll think outside the box, we'll come up with ideas, and then we'll implement those for the business.
Amazing. And having acquired these customers, how do you retain them?
Yeah, I mean, I think we are, we work on being very, very transparent with our customers. I think, again, going back to sort of growing up in the industry, I understand the characters, and I think, they don't necessarily want the jargon. They want it to be jargon-free, hassle-free, and they just want to know, they want to trust, and that's why we're transparent on everything we do. Any campaign we do, we'll offer reports, everything's backed up by data, what we do. And so I think we sort of build a very sort of trusting relationship with all of our clients, that they can rely on us, that we're not going to overpromise and underdeliver. Nicely, I was speaking to another customer a while back, and they sort of said, it was one of the rare things about us is that we really don't sort of overpromise. We are one of those people who kind of promise and deliver at the same time. So I think too, just sort of helping customers and showing that we really do care. I think there's a great quote by Theodore Roosevelt, who said that people don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think that's something that we're that's a mantra that we really live by.
That's a fantastic quote. People don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. Yeah. What a fantastic quote that is. Yeah. Well, but through your journey, I guess, this construction industry being so away or deprived, should I say, from digital world, I'm sure you must have had those challenges to make the customer understand. Was customer education one of your biggest challenge?
Yeah, I think definitely customer education has been a challenge, and continues to be a challenge. I think and again, I think that's something that we just try and be as open and transparent about. So we'll explain to a customer why we're doing something that we're doing, or we'll show them the data to say, well, look at this data, and this is why we've done, and these are the results. So I think it is an industry, like you said, that has almost been quite deprived of sort of marketing, and I think that then does mean that is one of the struggles of the industry, is that you're then kind of it's an industry where potentially it's not, or it hasn't been as seen as such a priority, and you're then educating that this is why you've got to do what you're doing. But I think as well, and I think one of the reasons why we started the business too, is that there's a new wave and a new generation coming through in construction, and I think this new age and new generation is very, very sort of digitally savvy, and they expect it. That's why you see the big larger firms now, and even smaller firms. They are catching up, and they are they're doing everything on social media. They're producing slick videos. So I think yes, although that challenge there remains about educating the customer, I think that's something that we'll always do. I do think that I think with a new generation coming through in a new sort of wave, a new approach, it also means that they're kind of almost very eager to get on board and get their marketing presence up and get going, really.
Yeah. So let's try to be very specific here for the construction industry. What do you think, or what do you want to tell, if there is somebody in the audience right now who is from construction industry? What is their first step, and what is their crucial step? Because as you said, they don't think this is a priority, and they might be right. They have certain other challenges to overcome first. So what would you advise to somebody in the construction industry to take as the first step, or a key marketing thing or digital thing that they need to have in place?
I think just probably going back to that stat that I mentioned about 75% of people basing what they think of the company, and I think from that, you could miss out on a huge chunk of business. And I think a lot of the time in construction, and I hear it, and I've heard it all my sort of working life in construction has been, I get enough leads, I don't need any more leads, I'm busy enough. And I actually did a talk and mentioned that, and so many people came up afterwards and said, "Oh, I'm glad it's not just me saying that." And which yeah, there is that element of that. We've got work, so we don't need any more work. But I think you've got to think longer term in this day and age. We don't know what's around the corner, and I think that I think that even if you might not think that people might not Google, say, a facade system or a very sort of specialist construction application or something, then I think they will Google your business, so they will do their research on you. And I think in the day and age where trust is absolutely paramount, then I think you can be letting yourself and in your business down if you're not backing up and telling your story.
Yeah, so true. So in order to deliver this professional service, what are the tools that you use in your business?
So I mean, we use we use a range of tools from from the Adobe suite to HubSpot, and we're always kind of keen to find the latest platforms that can help us deliver a better service, and that can also help our customers too. So we use a range of platforms, and I think we're really passionate about software and platforms that can help businesses, because I think in a day and age where there are platforms out there that can help businesses, and some of them are free. Some of the you can get a CRM now that is free, as a sort of basic package, and the amount that can help your company grow is amazing. So we're always sort of trying to find the latest trends, that sift out the good and the bad, and use those to help our business and help our clients' business as well. So I think there are so many platforms out there to help, and I think they can really act as the backbone of any business.
All right. So what are your expansion plans?
So I think we're excited to continue growing and continue helping more and more construction companies. We're excited to hopefully recruit more talent, more specialist talent, so we can continue to deliver everything that we do. And I think we're also excited to potentially sort of looking into how we can help to implement software for different companies. I think, as I sort of mentioned, and I think with marketing now, it's such a broad area. I think 20 years ago, it was potentially you just place an advert, and that was that. And I mean, there was a lot more to it still, but I think it's evolved so much, and it seeps into so many different parts of the business. So, I think we're just keen to kind of help companies digitalize as much as possible within the construction industry.
Hi there. I just wanted to share with you all why London School of Digital Business is doing this great people interview series. Well, for the last few years, small and medium businesses have been facing lots of challenges. Individuals have been wondering what's going to happen to their careers because of these emerging trends and technologies, artificial intelligence, VR, AR. What's going to happen? It feels as if the world is changing. And then COVID hit, and there is a lot of depression in the minds of people. So we thought we need to bring in some positivity, bring in some motivation and inspiration. And it's all good to know these stories of, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. But we wanted to talk about the extraordinary stories of the people that you get to see in the ordinary world. They are no way ordinary people. They are great people, but they are the ones you can relate to. Hence, we thought this is something that we want to bring in to increase the chances of success for many, motivate them, give them the insights. And I'm so happy to share that every leader has shared completely unique and different insights because their situations have been different. Somebody was alone, and we know that entrepreneurs are alone at the top and how it feels, and they fought their challenges. Somebody had partnership, business partners, um, and somebody could not survive the business partnership, so they had to rebuild themselves. Somebody thought, well, I could have done this differently if I was to go back in time. So every insight is so unique. I must thank all the people who shared their journeys, and I'm sure this will help you all succeed in life, increase the chances of your success, as well as reach there faster, and of course, achieve happiness in life. Thank you for listening. All right, we'll discuss a lot about business, and I think it's time we want to know, Ollie as a person.
Yes.
So here comes the next section, which is rapid fire questions, just short answers for lighter moments.
Yeah.
So if you were to go back in time, what you would have done differently?
Yeah, great question. I think I think ask for help from an earlier age. I think that sometimes it can be seen as a bit of a sign of weakness, or can be something that people feel ashamed about, and it's nothing to be ashamed about. You can only juggle so much. And I think to occasionally just sort of say put your hands up and say, actually no, I need some help on this, or I'm struggling with this. And I think just being open and honest. I think I kind of probably wish I'd asked for a bit more help at an earlier age.
Great. What do you do over the weekend?
I mean, but being that my sort of weeks are quite busy and quite sort of full on, I do like to just sort of relax. Pottering around my wife, seeing sort of friends and family. I think just sort of recharging a bit, so then ready sort of on Monday morning, feeling good and good to go really.
I guess, Will, you have a large family, I heard.
Yeah. So yes, do have a large family who continue to kind of inspire me both past and present. So yeah.
Right. How about pets?
No, I resisted the sort of the lockdown temptation to get a dog, and but yeah, it's certainly something that I'm not ruling out. I would like a dog at some point.
All right. Okay. On a concluding part, we would like to know, what's your ultimate goal, vision for your business, and maybe if you want to share, purpose of your life.
Yeah, sure. So I think that I'm keen to just build something that helps businesses grow, and it helps them thrive. And I think that we're keen to do that as well. So I think we just want to build an open and honest team where people can do what they do best. I think so many roles, people can do them, and it's just potentially not the right role for them. It doesn't mean that they're not the right person for the company. It just means that their skills might lie somewhere else. And I think it's key as a leader to kind of look out and think, right, okay, well, what do they do best, and help them do that. So I think just building somewhere where people feel comfortable. I think if you can have fun, I mean, work is work at the end of the day, so it is what it is. But if you can have fun occasionally, and not take things always so too seriously, and I think that kind of creates a place where people can sort of thrive.
That's really so wonderful that you shared. I think lots of people who are listening to this, I must bring their attention to this. This is something really worth following. Another question is, who inspires you, and probably why?
Yeah, so I think I think people that inspire you are so important. And I think growing up from an early age, I was inspired by Bruce Lee when I was a young child. He's a amazing physical talent, and then people like Savannah Fines, explorers. I think I've always been impressed by people who have been successful and achieved so much in their lives, yet remained so humble about it. And I think I'm always just in awe of that. And I think people who inspire are really important. I think they change and change over the years, but I think they really they help for who you kind of aspire to be, or what you aspire to achieve.
So what you have achieved, Ollie, is really inspiring to a lot of people. It will be an inspiration to a lot of people. At the same time, the niche that you have picked up is really valuable learning for many people here. One last piece of advice, I guess, there were so many things to learn in this interview, but one last and key thing, those who are listening to this and thinking that probably they want to do their own digital marketing agency as well. Mm-hmm. How do you get your first few customers?
I think that getting yourself out there as much as possible. I think going in with the attitude that you care, you want to help, and that, I think if that's at the forefront of what you're doing, I think you will pick up a client, and that hopefully that client will then evolve with you. So I think I think that and having a bit of a plan, and potentially having a bit of a niche too, and a niche where you are genuinely passionate about it. Because I think running a business is hugely demanding. It's and it is challenging. So I think that if you have something that you really care about, then I think that pulls you through the tougher times potentially. So I think running a business, like I say, does kind of come up with its challenges. And I suppose especially in its sort of infant years, it can be incredibly time consuming and sort of require huge amount of input. It's almost like a child in that sense. In the early stages, it needs a lot of attention, and it kind of as you get older and older, it can do more itself. But so I think just finding little things that you enjoy outside of work too, and keeping your morale up. And I think just being authentic, when you're with clients, and I think they'll sense that, and I think that can then help you grow. I think trying doing it for the right reasons, I suppose.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So Ollie, this brings us to the end of this conversation. Thank you so much for your time. And I must say, I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you, and I'm sure the audience will learn a lot from this interview.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. And I do hope that there's some key points there that can be taken away and help anyone in the future.
Cheers.